Hi, this is Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com, and I'm here again to share my outside-the-box ideas that I created with the contents of the January 2017 Paper Pumpkin Kit from Stampin Up, titled Adorning Arrows. This is what came in the kit: the step-by-step photo direction pamphlet and a fun bunch of supplies for making 24 Valentine treat bags. I have a sampling of them here. There's the pre-cut and scored metallic foiled paper bags, fun stickers and sticks for making the arrows, metallic twine, hearts and banners, special adhesives, the Cameo Coral ink pad, and this great stamp set that you can add to your stamp collection and use over and over again. And if you intend to make these projects as shown in the directions, all you need is a pair of scissors and your clear block for using with your stamps, which gets shipped with your first kit. Stampin' Up! Has a great video that you can view showing you step by step how to put these cute little bags together. But I always go beyond. Each month I share several ideas that you can create with your kit contents. This way those of us getting the kits have way more options. I'll be using a few extra Stampin' Up! Supplies as I share my unique projects, but you can find these extra items listed below and linked to my online store. If you're viewing this video on YouTube, look in my video description below for links for more information about Paper Pumpkin kits, getting started with your monthly Paper Pumpkin subscription, my website where I've shared close-up photos of these fun ideas, and how to earn free product during our celebration promotion. I hope you like what I've come up with in this video. Let's get started. I have some sad news to share with some of you that have already put together your kits and needed more supplies. Stampin' Up! Has no more kits available, so we cannot get any refill kits or full kits in the online store this month for this particular kit. So how are we going to make more cute little treat things? Let me show you some ideas that I have. This makes 24, remember, and so let's say you have kids that have more children in their classroom than 24, what can you do with your extra supplies? Now you're not going to have a lot of extra after you've put together your whole kit. You're going to have your stamp set, your ink, some of these little pieces here, that sort of thing. So what can we do with all of that? Well, you have the stamps and ink. So these treat bags are pretty inexpensive. They are 2 inches by 8 inches in size. And if you pull out the Sweetheart punch, this is a great punch that will kind of give that same look. We're going to bring in some Falling in Love designer paper from our spring catalog, otherwise known as our occasions catalog. And then we need white cardstock. There are so many pretty papers in this pack. I have used up most of mine, so I can't share them all with you, but hopefully you can see them in the online store. I took out a piece that is about 2 by 4 inches, and now I'm going to score it or fold it in half. Your paper trimmer can do that for you, or you can just fold it by hand. Now that we've got that done, we're going to take our cellophane bag and we're going to fill it with candies. And I like the gold candies. I started putting silver in here, and then I thought, oh my gosh, the kit, it actually has gold accents, so we can't do silver. And then we're going to take one of the scraps from the kit, and we're just going to cut it so that we have a continuous strip of gold. And we're going to place that along the bottom edge here. And next we're going to fold this down and staple it in place. And when you staple, your staple will actually show on the back side. So what you'll want to do is staple it so that the flat side of your staple is to the back, and then you don't have that sharp part there. And then we can cover up this. So now we'll take and stamp, well, let's first punch because we can see through our stamps. We're going to stamp out one of our hearts from a scrap of Whisper White. And I'm going to use my larger ink pad, my larger Cameo Coral ink pad. It's just faster for me. And we're going to go ahead and stamp that right in the middle. And let's put a few little hearts under there. We'll do that twine tosseling technique. So you'll grab your glue dots from the kit, or if you have this lovely adhesive that I highly recommend because it's so quick and easy to put on. Take your adhesive and put it on the back side. I'm also going to grab from my gold twine that I already have on hand. That's something to note. If you run out of gold twine, we do have some of this. This is a product that is available also through Stampin' Up. And so I just put the adhesive on the back side, and then I pretend that I've bunched up my twine. And I kind of manipulate where it's going to go. Now you don't want to have it looping in all over the place to make it look like a flower, but you want to have some fun, whimsical little loops coming out here and there. Okay, so now I think, oops, we'll put one more there. All right, and then we'll trim this. And this is where I put the dimensionals. You will also find that if you've used up your whole kit to make the 24 bags, you've probably used up most of your dimensionals too. So that might be something that you'll need to invest in, unless you're a past Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you've got a few on hand, because sometimes we have those in past kits. And then this just goes right on the front, and it's a super quick, easy way to put together some additional treats. So some kids can get this, and some kids can get this one here. So now that you've invested in a few more products, like the designer paper, the white paper, the bags, the dimensionals, the punch, possibly the twine, you might as well get a pack of envelopes, because all of this, when added up, will earn you a free item from the celebration brochure. And what item do I recommend? I recommend getting this card tin. I know there's so many things in here. There's paper, there's stamp sets, designer papers. Awesome. I recommend this card tin. This is what it looks like, and it's large enough to hold a ton of cards. You even get these fun little tabs that you can put in between to separate card types, birthday, baby cards, that kind of thing. So it's beautiful. So why would I recommend that? Well, because you've got a ton of card stock now, and now you bought some envelopes, so you might as well make some cards. So let's get our paper trimmer back out, and we're going to cut a couple cards out here. So I'm first going to score to save some time. I'm going to score down the center for both cards, and then trim in half at 5 1/2. So I scored at 4 1/4, and now I'm trimming at 5 1/2 to create 2 card bases. Then I've already cut for us, to save some time, some designer paper, and I have this piece right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that to the front of my card. Super simple, super easy to put together. This piece is 4 inches by 5. 4 inches by 5 1/4. I think I want it to go this way. I'm laughing. I had to stop my camera for a minute because I'm wearing my glasses today and not my contacts, so I'm having trouble looking at everything as I record. Anyways, I switched it around. This is the direction it's going to go. And then I've already stamped a heart, punched it out with that Sweetheart punch, put the gold thread on the back and the dimensionals, and now we'll just remove the backings and stick this on the front of our card. Super simple card. You can get 6 of these size sheets out of one 12 by 12. So totally, let's see here, let's put it up in the corner. Totally easy, super simple way to make a bunch of cards. So here's 3 other cards I made with designer papers from that same pack. Happy Valentine's Day, just a little thanks, the friend card. Okay, so how do we get more paper from that pack? So if you want to save on paper, cut your pieces to 4 by 4, and then you can get 9 from each piece. So let's put together a card like that. Here is a piece that is 4 by 4. And we're just going to go ahead and put this on the bottom. Oh, and before we tape this all the way down, I'm going to keep my tape there. I want to show you a little extra thing that you can add as an embellishment. We'll just shove this aside for a minute. This is my tool. It's a scrap of paper. Here's my pad again. These are fun doilies that you can get in the Occasions catalog, and they're double-sided. One side is white and one side is vanilla. So we're going to go ahead and take either side. I went with the white, so I'm going to do that again just because I know it works. And we're going to lay our doily mostly on the stamp pad. We need a place to pick it up. So we're going to go like this and just push the ink onto the surface of the doily. And you're going to see it come through because it's a thinner piece of paper. So, you know, the ink actually soaks through the doily a bit. And you'll do that, and then you'll switch it over and you'll do the other side this way, okay? And once that's finished and you've set it aside to dry for a while, you will have a doily that matches the ink color. So this is the Cameo Coral ink color. So now we can take and cut it into fourths or thirds or in half. You actually have 12 bumps all the way around. So 12 is such an easy number to divide. We're going to divide it into thirds. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So again, we just cut it down here and we have 3 equal pieces of doily. So now we can grab this piece and we can tuck it underneath, right about there on our card, and put our heart on top of that. And there's our Happy Valentine's Day card. And here's 3 other versions using the same 4x4 cut for our designer paper. Okay, how many cards can you create? Well, if you have 40 envelopes, you might as well create 40 cards. And you can go beyond because you have 40 sheets of cardstock, which will make 80 cards. Of course, some of them you'll need for your scrap heart pieces so that you can make a whole bunch of these bags too. And you should have plenty with that $50 order with the free card tin to organize those 40 cards. You should be able to make 50 additional little treat bags this way. Great way to use your money, to spend your money in the Stampin' Up! Store. So now a different scenario. Let's say you have not put together any of your kit treat bags yet. So how can you make more treats out of that kit? Well, I would say invest in these clear, tiny treat boxes. You get 16 in a package, and if you tripled that, you would then have 48. They come with this plastic little coating here, so I'm trying to remove that. They're super simple to put together, and then you don't have to worry about trying to get a hold of another kit because you have another container to use. So 3 of these kits or 3 of these containers of boxes would cost you an additional $22.50 in the online store because they are $7.50 each. So there, we've just put together one of the boxes, not gracefully, but we did. Okay, and now it's ready to decorate. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to take your supplies in your kit and you're going to split them in half. After I stopped the camera and gathered up all the supplies, I realized I put the box together wrong. So you want to first push in this tab here, the U-shaped one, and then the side ones, and they'll click in place. And then this one that's more like a tab. There. Okay, so now we've got our 2 boxes, and we're going to split up the supplies. Here's the bag. I cut the bag right on the front and back panels so that they're 2 inches wide here. And then these pieces we'll just discard. We don't need those. And then I split up the rest of the supplies. The arrow supplies are going to go to one kit along with the heart, the gold heart, and then half the banner over here, half the banner here, and this white heart is over on this side. So we have to do one more thing with cutting these pieces. We have to cut them to 4 inches. And then we're going to score them at 2 inches. And that way they will fold right into the box. So we'll go like that, and we'll fold them this way, and then you just take and tuck them down into the box like that. So you'll fill your box with candy, and then you'll close it up. Let's start with box number 1. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of adhesive right near the top of the white banner so we can attach the pink vellum banner to that. And then this will get attached to our box on the front. And we're going to go below the little tab here. So need to attach it right about there, and we'll center it. That way we can still reach into and grab that section of the cover. Okay, now we're going to stamp on this, and there's There are two stamps in this kit that are sometimes a little difficult to line up. The outline heart and then the full heart, because they reach right to the edge of this. I'm going to recommend a tool that has been a favorite of mine for years. It's called the Stampin' and it comes in two parts. You have the T-bar and then you also have the clear sheet. What you do is you ink up your stamp, you put the clear sheet next to the T-bar like so, and then you'll stamp with your stamp corner shoving right into that corner of the T-bar too. And you'll just go straight down and you'll make that impression on the clear sheet. Now if you have a single heart like this, then you'll need to put a little adhesive down on your grid paper. Little tip, don't take them off of your sheets yet. This is a much easier way to use the Stamp-A-Majig by having a little bit of paper to hold onto, but we don't have that with this one, so I'm going to show you what to do. I've placed a little adhesive there already. I'm going to put just a little bit more. And then we're going to stick our heart down onto our scrap paper. And now we'll take and line up that image over the top of the white heart, put our T-bar up against it, take this image away, ink up our stamp again, hold the T-bar steady, and stamp straight down. And now we've got our image exactly where we wanted it to be without any stress. Just like when you clean off your stamps with the Scrub and Mist, you can clean off your clear sheet from the Stamp-A-Majig with that as well. And then to clean off this adhesive, you just use your little adhesive eraser. Mine is not pretty looking anymore, but it still works. There, now we have a clean surface and we're ready to go again. So you'll turn this over, you'll put some SNAIL adhesive on the back or some of your glue dots from the kit. You'll put your twine back there, your gold twine, put some dimensionals on the back. And when you put adhesive and dimensionals, try to just go up to, but not beyond, this line. So you want the top part of your heart to not have any adhesive on it, just the bottom section. Then when you put it on, this section that is rising above the lid of the box does not have to be all sticky. Okay, so here's what that finished box looks like. And you can see you can grab onto the top. There's no adhesive where it's exposed here. And we've got lots of fun candies to give somebody. Okay, the second box. For the second box, we want to go ahead and put these pieces like we did before. So we'll put a little adhesive again at the very top of our vellum and stick that onto this piece here. And then we'll attach this whole thing. And this time I'm putting adhesive slightly below. We'll put this whole thing on the front of our box, but this time going up to the top. And again, like I said, I have no adhesive right at the top, okay? This little area's bare of that. Okay, next you're going to take this heart, the one that is supposed to act as a little seal for the backs of your bags. You know what? Side note, on these bags, there has been a lot of issues with this getting to attach and stay down. These stickers just aren't strong enough. So I want to recommend getting a roll of glue dots from our Stampin' Up store. I know that there's glue dots that come in the kit, but these are super sticky, the ones that come in the store, and they're thick and they just hold everything down. So sorry, a little flaw in that kit. It just, all it needs is a little bit stronger adhesive to hold it back there. But we're going to use this heart in a slightly different way. You're going to take your gold thread, oops, got a little paper on there, your gold thread, and you're going to do that little tousled look again, put a dimensional on the back, and you're going to stick it up here on the top of your box, okay? Then, oh, you know what? I forgot a step. Pretend we hadn't stuck this on yet and there's no adhesive on the back, or you have your adhesive eraser and you can take that off. You're going to stamp your little message here, and you can stamp it right on the vellum. It will work. It'll take a little bit longer to dry, but you can stamp it with that ink and just set it aside for a while to dry. Okay, pretend it's on there, and now we go back to the step that we were on, where we've got our heart on there with the gold twine behind it, and then we just assemble our arrow. And you can watch the Stampin' Up video to see how to do that, but this is basically a two-sided gold sticker, and I'm just getting the fold going here. Okay, and we put this on the non-pointy end, like that. And it takes a little lining up of the sticker. And then this heart will go on the other end. Again, we'll get the fold going, and that becomes the arrow, the point of the arrow. And if you can't get them on so that they're going in the same direction, you can just twist them after they've gotten on there. This side will actually twist around a little bit easier than the back of the arrow. And this will just sit underneath when you've closed the candy inside. So it'll just be held on like that, and when you're done, you'll have a box that looks like this. So we've got a little arrow in there, we've got our message on the front, our heart with our gold twine behind it. Super cute. You'll have to check out my blog post to see close-up photos of these because they're much easier to see in the photographs. Okay, next. So let's say you went with the idea of making more than 24 bags by using these cute boxes to go beyond 24. But you didn't need 48. You only needed, like, say 32. So you could get just a couple of these containers of boxes. Instead of 3, get 2 of them. Then you'd have supplies from 8 of the bags of the kit left over. What else could you get with that? Well, let's see. In the catalog, the Occasions catalog, we have some great watercolor pencils, and they match one of the free products that you can earn when you get the 2 sets of clear treat boxes, the watercolor pencils, the envelopes, and then 2 sets of cardstock, Cameo Coral and Blushing Bride, which are the colors that coordinate with the kit. And then your free product from the Celebration brochure can be this paper called Inside the Lines, right here. Okay? I'm going to show you a bunch of card ideas that you can do with those products, but first let me share with you that one of the benefits of being a Paper Pumpkin subscriber is being able to collect all of these stamp sets and the little ink spots to use continually, forever. You can just keep using them, right? So I do that, and every once in a while I pull out a stamp like this happy birthday image. You'll see that in the next card. And I took for this card some Cameo Coral cardstock, Blushing Bride, and then a piece of the designer paper, and I colored it in with watercolor pencils. And then I took the banner from the kit and stamped on there Happy Birthday with some hearts from this stamp set, put the Cameo Coral striped vellum banner behind that, and that is one of my first cards. Okay, let me show you what else you can do with this fun designer paper, and any designer paper for that matter. Let's take a piece, and I've already got a section that I cut from already, so we're going to take our trimmer again, and we're going to trim it down. Let's trim it this way. Let's trim it to 5.5 inches tall, because that is the height of a regular card, and we want it to fit into one of our envelopes. So now that we've cut that to 12 inches by 5.5, we need to cut it, or not cut it, I'm sorry, we need to score it in a few places. So we're going to go to the 2-inch mark, and we're going to score at 2 inches. Make sure you have your cutting blade out of the way. We're going to score at 2 inches and at 4 inches, and then we'll flip it around and we'll score again at 2 inches and 4 inches. And then you'll need to grab your ruler and a pencil, and we're going to make some marks here. Let's do it on the back side because we can see that a little bit better. We're going to make a mark halfway up each short end, and that would be 2 3/4 inches. That's the halfway mark of 5.5. Now we'll bring our trimmer back in, but first we need to look at the direction. We want this to be up, so we want to make sure that our diagonal cuts that we're going to do next are going to be from these 2 corners. So we're going to put our paper into our trimmer again, and we're going to start with that mark and bring it all the way to this mark here and slice it. Keep that piece. Don't throw those away, you're going to need those. We'll do the same thing with this side. Okay, now we're going to put our puzzle together. This is what it looks like. And we're going to fold in. We're going to fold in this way. And then we're going to fold this piece back. I've done the same to the other side. And now these pieces here are going to flip over and they're going to attach to our card like this. So we want the adhesive on the printed side. Let's go ahead and put the printed sides together and run our adhesive along. Like that. And we'll start with this edge on the outer side, line it up, tape it down. Now we're going to place a little panel in the middle with our Cameo Coral and Blushing Bride cardstock. And the measurements for those are going to be, Cameo Coral is going to be 3 3/4 by 2.5, and the Blushing Bride will be just under that at 3 5/8 by 2 3/8. I measured it off to the side because I wanted to not show you this until just now. This is the cutest little card. So this is what you're going to make. You're going to attach your banners here. You're going to do the same thing where you stamp, you put the twine behind, you put it up on dimensionals. I stuck the gold sticker there. And of course, because this is opening like this, you want to only put adhesive on half of the back of that banner. And now you've got a fun gate fold. It is the double fold gate card. And I did share some other versions of this type of fold in a blog post recently for the Lift Me Up bundle. So you can see more directions for making that type of card on my blog. Are you planning to be, or are you already a Paper Pumpkin subscriber? Right now, Stampin' Up! Is holding a fantastic promotion called Celebration. Click on the link below to learn more and see how you can earn free product through your Paper Pumpkin subscription. The last project that I'm going to share in this video is a pretty but simple card. So you're going to cut your cardstock down to 5.5 inches by 8.5. Just had to trim off a little extra there. And then we're going to score it at 4 1/4, so we've got the base of our card that will fit into our envelopes. Next, we're going to take the Blushing Bride piece and we're going to cut a piece that is 4 inches by, oops, we're going to have to trim it this way. 4 inches, I just grabbed my scraps, I don't know. 4 inches by 5 1/4. And that's going to go on the inside of our card. Okay, it's just 1/4 inch in each direction, smaller. And we can go ahead and stamp that inside already with one of our images from the set. This one goes really well with the friend one. So we're going to stamp that right in the middle. Just a little thanks. So it can be a thank you card to a friend. Okay, let's grab that and put it out of the way. Now here's a couple tips before I show you the finished card, because I do have a finished one ready. These banners, I think, look really great when they are angled like this. So you'll want them to come off the end a bit, because then you can trim them up and they will have a straight edge instead of a tilted edge like they would if they were put on like this, okay? So just bring them off the edge of the card a bit. So now that you know where this one's going to go, you can ink up your solid heart. It's not completely solid, so we want to make sure that we avoid that little image of the word love in it. And we're going to stamp it down underneath this banner. To do that, you kind of want to know where your banner is going to go. Then you figure out where your stamp's going to go, and you move the banner and stamp it down. Now when we put this back, you can see that we've got just a little peek of that heart. Let's do the same thing on the bottom right of the banner. So again, we'll position this where we want it to be on the card. We'll ink up our stamp. We'll get ready to move this, and we'll stamp it down. So now it looks like we have some solid hearts peeking out from behind the banner. You'll do the same thing with these little tiny hearts if you need to. You won't have these banners stuck down yet, and you'll stamp where you need to go. Then you'll put this banner down, and you'll lay this one where it's going to go. Where's that heart? Here it is. You'll put the gold twine behind this, the dimensionals. You'll stick it on the vellum banner. Then you'll put some adhesive right behind the vellum and tack it down. And you'll end up with this card right here. Let's shove these out of the way so you can see it. So I've got the little stamps that are hidden, coming out from behind the banners. On the inside we have just a little thanks. It's a sweet and simple looking card, but it's striking when you see it. Look at all we made. And I still have more projects in my mind and that I'm creating. As promised to all my subscribers, I will always do a 12 by 12 page layout and a project life layout, so look for those. And I have another card idea to share as well. Thank you for watching. It builds creativity to think outside the box. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can catch more paper pumpkin videos that I've shared using past kits and more that I'll share with future kits. Also, be sure to visit my blog at stampyourartout.com so that you can view close-up photos of all these projects and see photos of other paper pumpkin kit ideas. If you're watching my video on YouTube, look for links in my description below. And to see some extra exclusive project ideas, get your paper pumpkin subscription started with me as your demonstrator. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.